Welcome to a Keysmash Studios tutorial. In this video, we're going to be making a main menu scene that will allow us to select a level to play, and then we'll also be adding this load scene functionality to our levels, so that way we can go back to the main menu. As you're watching, if you find this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the code of this tutorial. It's going to be pretty much just one line of code, so we'll go to scripts and open up our menu controller. And all we're going to be doing is adding a function that we'll use to load the different scenes of our game. So I'll just go ahead and create this function above our pause. So it's going to be public void, and I'm going to call this transition scene. And then it's going to have an argument of int level. And we can fill in the value of this argument on our button. So whenever someone presses the level 1 button, we can pass in a value of 1 through the button's on-click functionality. And so in Unity, all you have to do to load a scene is use the scene manager. And then the function is load scene. And then we're just going to pass in the int value level to that load scene. And then we're going to need a using for this scene manager. So we'll go up here and add a new using. And it's going to be Unity engine.scene management. And that'll get rid of our underline there. And that's literally all of the code for this tutorial. So we'll go ahead and go back to our scene. And I'm going to go to my scenes folder. And I'm going to create a new scene. This is going to be for our main menu. So I'll just call it main menu. And then we'll go there, and I'm going to create a canvas by making a panel. And then I'll go over to the game view so you can see what it'll look like. And I'm going to change this color's alpha channel to be 255, so that way it has no transparency. And then I'm just going to give it a random light bluish color. And that'll be the background for our menu. I'm not going to be doing anything fancy here with images or anything like that. I'm simply going to have some text and some buttons. So our next thing can be our menu text. I'm just going to put it main menu. And then for its position, I want it to be at the top, so I'm going to adjust its anchor. And then for its Y, I'm going to give it -150. And then its width, I'm going to do 300, and its height, I'm going to do 64. And then for its font size, I'm going to do 42, and then I'm going to center this text. I'm also going to make it a darker shade of black. And then I can go ahead and add my buttons. And I'm going to name these level 1 button, and the next one will be level 2 button. And this is going to be centered for its anchor. Its X pose is going to be -100. Its Y pose is going to be -50. But I accidentally made it a child of the text, so I'm just going to move it out. So it's a child of the panel instead, and then do that -50 again. I'm going to leave its width and height. I'm going to go down to its on-click section and click the plus to add a new function that will be called. And then here we want to add the canvas object. And then I actually need to go to the canvas object and add the menu controller to it. All of this stuff is going to be just left empty because this is specifically for the game levels, and I'm not going to have an end panel or count or pause UI inside my main menu. So now that that's there, I'm going to go back to my level 1 button and then add the menu controller transition scene function there. And this one is going to be 1. How the level value is decided is through the build settings, and I will show you that at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and change this text now to just be level 1. And then I'm going to copy paste this button, rename it level 2 button. And then go down and change this value to 2, and go back up and change its X pose to 100. And then I need to go change its text to be level 2 as well. And then the last thing that we're going to do inside our menu scene is go to our event system, and we're using an input module. So we're going to click replace with our input system UI module, and that'll make it to where the buttons are properly clicked. And now we're going to go ahead and go to our track scene. And in the previous video, we set up our pause menu, and so we're just going to go here to our menu button that we left blank last time, add an on-click function, add the canvas, and then go to the menu controller transition scene function there. And this will be 0 as I'm going to have the main menu scene have the index of 0. And so I can go ahead and save this and go to my minigame scene and do the same thing here. I didn't do this in the previous video, I did this in between videos, so you're going to want to copy paste your pause panel and your pause button from your track scene into your minigame scene if you haven't already done so. And then you'll want to add the proper pause UI to your menu controller, as well as resetting these on-click functions because you'll need to redirect it to the canvas in this scene for both the pause button and the resume button. So now back to the menu button, we'll go ahead and add an on-click function. Again, this is the canvas, and then menu controller, transition scene, and this is taking us to the main menu, so it's 0. So we can save this scene and go back to our main menu. And now we're going to do our build settings. So if you go up to File and down to Build Settings, you can see here it says Scenes and Build, and right now there are none. I want my main menu scene to have that index of 0, so I'm going to add it first by clicking Add Open Scenes. And here you can see the index of that specific scene in that row. So my main menu is 0, and now if I go ahead and go to my track, I'm going to have that be my level 1. And so I'm going to add the open scene there, and then I'm going to go to my mini game and have that be level 2, and add that scene there. So if you want different indexes for your different scenes, just be sure to open your scenes and add them in the order you're wanting. So now that we have those done, we can go back to our main menu and test and play. So now if I click level 1, it takes me to the track scene, and if I go ahead and unplay and play again and click level 2, it takes me to the minigame scene. And now if I pause the minigame scene and go back to the main menu, it takes me back, and then same if I go back to level 1 and go to the main menu, I properly transition between these levels. So as a recap, we created a menu scene that allows us to transition between the two levels, and we added that scene transition functionality to our pause menu within our game scenes. As always, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments, or you can join our Discord and ask them there. We also stream games on Twitch Tuesdays and Fridays. We have an app on the Google Play Store called Blast Off. We have an asset pack of kids' toys on the Unity Store, and we have a Patreon. If any of those things interest you or you'd like to support us in any of those ways, all of those things will be linked in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.